Hello and welcome everyone for this webinar on Dynamics 365 marketing, this new app that you might have heard about it under the Dynamics 365 portfolio. So I'm Cyril Courrée, your product manager at SherWeb for Dynamics 365. And I have today with me a special guest, Nelson Lopes, that is the Microsoft Canada National Partner Technology Strategist, Dynamics CRM. Welcome, Nelson.
Thanks, Cyril.
That's a pretty long title that you have.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But thank you very much for joining us. Quick presentation. I think our Canadian folks might know Nelson. We're working a lot with him. He's kind of our Dynamics architect. It's helping us a lot on those all new questions that come. So thanks a lot for joining us, Nelson, today.
Oh, no problem, Cyril. It's good to be with you for sure.
Great. Some housekeeping item, guys. This webinar is being recorded, so the link will be sent to you in the next 48 hours. There is a box for asking question built into the webinar software. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate. We'll take some time during the session and at the end to answer your question. Also, we are sharing this presentation, so you can already download it under the Handouts tab of the application. So that being said, let's have a look at the agenda. So today we're going to speak about what is Dynamics Marketing App and how your customer can benefit of it. Have a look at what is the opportunity for you, partners, and how SherWeb can really help you. And we'll go on some details that you need to know, like pricing, speaking a bit about sales professional versus enterprise, and of course we're going through a live demo of the application. So that being said, I'm going to give you the floor, Nelson. So you're going to be able to walk us through the slide.
Okay. Thanks, Cyril.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thanks very much, Cyril. It's good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on where you're calling in from across the country in the U.S. Great to be with you. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So businesses face complex marketing challenges today. Anyone that's on the call that is involved in sales can probably relate to this. From the sales side, and I've been in sales for many years, there's always been a criticism of the marketing group. And it's always two things, not enough leads, and the leads that you do get are poor quality. And vice versa on the marketing side, like I've worked with marketing people my whole career. They also have a gripe as well. They want to have more visibility about the sales, the leads that they produce, did they actually close, and so forth. And generally, lead nurturing, that's always been a challenge with many organizations, certainly a lot of organizations that I've worked with in the past. Now, with most businesses today, the sales and the marketing teams have often worked in silos, and there's a lot of history and reasons for this, based on some of the things I just mentioned, in terms of not a lot of leads, the quality of leads, and so forth. And generally, the sales and marketing teams, they frankly, in the past, they just haven't trusted each other, and they just don't work really well. And you can see some of the stats on the slide here, and this is so true. 49% of sales reps ignore more than half of marketing leads. Only 8% of B2B companies say that they have tight alignment between their sales and their marketing teams. And making the situation even worse is this other stat here that I'm sure a lot of people on the call have seen this before, and this is so true, that 57% of B2B purchase decisions are made even before speaking to a salesperson. And I'm sure a lot of people on the call have seen this stat before, and you know the reason for this. The reason for this is because buyers more than ever before are they're very savvy, right? Like they know a lot about products and services that they're in the market for buying, and And it's because of all the information that's out there on the internet, product reviews. And so very often they know more than the actual salesperson themselves. So a good marketing automation solution should not just be good at some of the basics in terms of lead creation, nurturing, and helping to influence some of that 57% in favor of the salesperson. But it also has to help marketing and sales collaborate and work better with each other. And that's more important than ever. And at Microsoft, especially with this new Dynamics 365 for marketing app, which is built on the same platform as our sales app and the regular Dynamics 365 applications, we have a little bit of an advantage here because it was built from the ground up on the same platform, and it was built from the ground up to integrate with the sales app. And so there's a bit of a seamless integration there. So those are some of the challenges in sales in marketing and sales historically. So now let's take a little look at what does Microsoft have to offer here? And it all starts with marketing. From this slide here, you can see that the marketing app, it's just one of 8 applications in Dynamics 365, but it's actually a very important one because it's really the first one. It's the first application that kicks off that entire prospect and customer life cycle. That could last, it could last years, right? It's the first time that you're interacting with that prospect or that customer. And we've never had that in the history of Dynamics 365. We've never really had a proper marketing automation solution that was built on XRM, integrated with the rest of the platform. A couple of years ago, we did have an application called Microsoft Dynamics Marketing, which was acquired from a third-party company. It had a different platform, different way of integrating and configuring and all that. But that application is being sunsetted. Dynamics 365 for marketing is completely different. It was designed from the ground up on the XRM platform, fully integrated with the rest of the platform. So let's go a little bit further. So digging into it, now going a little bit further, digging into this, here's a typical marketing life cycle or process itself. And it could look something like this. It can look a little bit different, but it often starts with some kind of campaign, a multi-channel campaign, personalized. The product of any campaign should be leads. Actually, that's the number one reason for any marketing automation solution. It's to produce leads. And those leads have to be nurtured over time. And sometimes, going forward, there's like an event that's part of that lead nurturing process to further qualify. And at some point, there's a transition, right, that goes from the marketing team to the sales team. And so there's a transition, there's a connection from the marketing process to the sales process. And this is one of the things that makes Microsoft unique. If you look at all the different solutions out there in the market, marketing automation solutions, connected to CRM solutions, this is where there's a bit of a disconnect, right? Because they're often, if you look at some of the competitive solutions out there, some of our competitors, their marketing automation solution was acquired from a third-party company. And so with Dynamics 365, there's a fairly seamless transition from marketing to sales. There's one existing business process flow that can go from those two things. So we're going to talk a little bit about this further very shortly. So ultimately, there is this hands-off, right, that goes from sales to goes from marketing to sales, and as sales starts working with the leads and further qualifying them and developing them and driving them to close, there's some reporting, there's some embedded intelligence and analytics that figures out, okay, how effective was that lead? What are some of the qualities that brought us that lead, and how we can repeat that success going forward. That's all captured in Dynamics 365 for marketing. Okay, so going a little bit further. So as such, you know, the Dynamics 365 for marketing has many of the key features and capabilities that you see here in a typical, you know, marketing life cycle and process. These are the big rocks in terms of, and we're going to see a lot of this in the demo, but, you know, multi-channel campaigns, lead nurturing, embedded intelligence. That's actually something that's quite a strength of Microsoft artificial intelligence, machine learning across the entire Microsoft platform. But this is one that I think more and more people in the industry is starting to give us more credit around this. But this is something that you're going to start to see infused throughout all of, not just all of Dynamics 365 and Dynamics 365 for marketing, but many Microsoft products across the board. This is going to be more and more a differentiator for Dynamics and Microsoft in general. Event management, that's another thing that we'll talk a little bit about that very shortly, but that's another thing that's kind of unique to Dynamics 365 for marketing. Most marketing automation solutions don't have an event management piece. They might integrate with a third-party tool, which is fine. We actually decided to include a fairly robust event management solution right from the beginning that includes like a portal, ability to do webinars, in-person events that manage things like sessions, speakers, venue management, even sponsors, all of that kind of stuff. And so that's actually unique to any marketing automation solution. And of course, reporting and intelligence actually go together. And there's lots of analytics, dashboards, and insights. We'll see some of this in the demonstration. Okay, so let's talk about, now we're going to talk about three core areas of things that, you know, we talked about the challenges of traditional marketing. Now we're going to talk about some of the three of the key big areas of focus for Dynamics 365 for marketing that kind of address those historical challenges in marketing. The first one is being able to nurture more sales-ready leads. So how do we address that? The first thing is that there's support for multiple different channels for generating leads in Dynamics 365 for marketing. You see a few of them here on the slide here. There's the email marketing. There's landing pages and forms, webinars, and in-person events. All of this you can set up just, you know, through point and click, just by configuration. And there's, you know, even for the landing pages and the forms, there's no HTML skills required or coding. All of this can be set up by a marketing analyst. Now, there's also a capability, we'll see this in a demo, called the customer journey, which allows you to execute long-running campaigns that can last days, weeks, or even months, and do it in a very personalized way that nurtures leads with a very personalized experience. Organize events with ease. So I already mentioned this, but Dynamics 365 for marketing is a bit unique in that it comes with this fairly robust event management capability. This is not common. And so, you know, it allows you to organize both in-person events with all the things that I mentioned before, like sessions, speakers, the venue logistics, sponsors, all that, but also virtual events like webinars. And we integrate out of the box with this webinar technology called On24. This is the exact same webinar service that Microsoft uses for really large webinars that involve tens of thousands of people. So it is very, very scalable. So you can create events, you can execute events, you can report on them, and that's all out of the box functionality. Okay, now the other thing that's really unique with Dynamics 365 for marketing, and it's part of the LinkedIn acquisition that Microsoft made last year, very, very significant acquisition, right? Because LinkedIn is kind of a very unique thing. It's the world's premier business networking, social networking platform. It has 500 million users, 500 million users, and there really will be. There is no second LinkedIn. There won't be another LinkedIn. And so since the acquisition, Microsoft has been really busy working with the LinkedIn engineers to build multiple points of integration. There's lots of ways that LinkedIn integrates with Dynamics 365, but one of the ones is through the marketing app. So LinkedIn has this feature called Lead Gen Forms, and it's part of the LinkedIn Campaign Manager tool. There's actually a tool in LinkedIn called Campaign Manager. And the tool is pretty amazing because it allows you to first create a very specific target audience for a campaign, because LinkedIn has 500 million members, and the data that's in LinkedIn and the data that people maintain in their LinkedIn profile is pretty accurate and very very reliable, because for a lot of people, LinkedIn could be the lead to your next job. And so people really are very careful in terms of maintaining that data in their profile. And so this campaign manager and the lead gen forms allows you to say, okay, I want to create a campaign, and I want to create a campaign of when I want to target, let's just say, people that are in this industry or even this sub-industry or this vertical, very, very micro targeting. And you can say, I want to target people that are in this vertical that maybe have this title, that are at this certain seniority level, like senior VP, that, maybe are in this region, or this even in the city. You can actually target right down to the city level. And you can create a very specific target audience, and then you take that target audience and then import it into Dynamics 365 for marketing, and then you're able to create a very, very targeted campaign and nurture those leads as part of that. So it's an incredibly powerful combination, LinkedIn and Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing. Okay, so the second big rock that we address as part of Dynamics 365 for marketing is this alignment with sales and marketing. And I talked a little bit about this before, but let me just go a little bit further. Again, Dynamics 365 and Microsoft, we're kind of unique in that we built this marketing automation solution a little bit late, but it was done right and from the ground up on the Dynamics 365 platform, the XRM platform. Again, a couple of years ago, we had that acquisition with Marketing Pilot, Microsoft Dynamics Marketing, and that's being sunsetted. But with Dynamics 365 for marketing, it's very different because we've built this marketing automation solution from the ground up. As such, it's all integrated. The way you configure it is the same as you do with customer engagement, CRM. But one of the things is that we're able to have these connected processes. So what I mean by that is we're able to create a business process flow, as you can see there, the business process flow that many of you have come to know, that spans multiple different entities, multiple different processes, starting from a lead and the qualification, moving over to sales and taking that lead and promoting it to an opportunity, and all the work that goes there. That's actually something that a lot of people don't know and a lot of people take for granted. But the fact that you can have a business process flow that spans, from marketing to sales, from lead to opportunities, that's something that not a lot of other CRM solutions in the market can actually do. They do have something that looks like a business process flow, but it's only specific to an opportunity, or it's only specific to a lead. It doesn't span the entire, like multiple entities, multiple different audiences and processes. And that is really key. That's really key because that's the thing that kind of connects the marketing teams with the sales teams, right? And in a very seamless way. This is something that's very unique to Microsoft and Dynamics 365. And the other thing that you immediately notice as you're starting to play around with Dynamics 365 for marketing is that there's intelligence and insights infused throughout the entire application. We'll see a little bit of this in the demonstration, but there's, whether you're looking at a customer journey, whether you're looking at a contact, whether you're looking at a marketing email, with any of these entities, at the top left-hand corner, just underneath, you can kind of see it there in the screenshot there, but you see lead insights, and then you see Natalie, the name of this lead. But you'll see a separate tab, and then from there you have lots of good insights, analytics, reporting that help you, especially as a salesperson, right? Kind of figure out, the history of this lead and how qualified this lead is, and it will give you things like, for example, they received a marketing email, they clicked on some links, they went to the web page, they spent quite a bit of time on that web page. Then from there, they went and they registered for an event. As a salesperson, that kind of insight, that analytics, that's gold, right? That's gold because that shows you that this person is quite interested. And of course, you're going to spend more time on that lead than others. And not all leads are created equal. And so that's why we've also, in addition to all of that, we've included a very robust lead scoring capability that's out of the box with Dynamics 365 for marketing. And so you can assign a score and even a grade to a lead based on a number of different factors. So for example, whether somebody clicked on a link from a marketing email, that's good. Maybe we give that 20 points. Did they forward that to somebody else? That's really good. We add another 10 or 20 points to that. For example, did they attend an event? Do they have a certain attribute in their profile? So for example, do they have VP in their profile, in their job title, right? Vice President of Sales. And so we can take all that and we can score the lead and even add a grade and say, leads that are between 80 and 20, give that a grade of A. And again, that's something that, the salespeople really appreciate. And again, that's another thing that kind of helps to bridge the divide between the marketing team and the sales team. Like, this is the thing that kind of gives the salespeople more confidence, and they start to kind of trust the marketing group more and more when they look at the history and how, where the leads came from and how they were scored. And so that's the two things. That's another example of how we bridge the two teams together that have historically been so divided. And finally, the third thing is making smarter decisions. Again, this is all based on the analytics, the reporting. That's how you make smarter decisions. It's all based on the insights, the analytics, the intelligence that you get. And I've already talked about this. We'll see a little bit of this in the demonstration. But again, insights and intelligence are something that are just everywhere in Dynamics 365 for marketing. And you can see here in the screenshot at the bottom right-hand corner, even as the campaign, even as the customer journey is actually executing, you actually see, you can barely see it there, but we'll see it better in the demo. But you can see, as you send out email communication, did any of them bounce back as the campaign, as the customer journey is actually executing? And, if things are not going your way, you can always pause the campaign and make some modifications along the way. Incredibly agile. So there is survey capability that's part of the Dynamics 365 for Marketing app that you can, once you run a campaign, just another way of interacting with that lead, that prospect. And just to kind of summarize the unique value, I've already talked about some of this as we've gone throughout, but again, there's some unique values. First of all, is that, Dynamics 365 for marketing was built from the ground up on a secure, trusted, compliant Microsoft platform, the XRM platform, which is on the Azure cloud. Again, it's the same platform as Dynamics 365 for sales, which really helps to bridge that divide between sales and marketing. I called it some of the unique features like event management, the connector for LinkedIn. Okay, now, this slide here really summarizes how your customers can benefit from Dynamics 365 for marketing and turn prospects into long-term business relationships. Again, just to summarize, it helps you better nurture more sales-ready leads based on all the things that we talked about. It helps to align sales and marketing, again, because of that, because of many of the things we talked about, having a consistent business process flow that spans between them, helping, giving sales a little bit more confidence in where the leads came from with the scoring and the history and the analytics that comes with it, helping to make smarter decisions, again, with all the analytics and insights that's embedded throughout, and growing with an adaptable platform. This is another key one. Because Dynamics 365 for marketing is built on the same platform as sales, same platform as customer service, it's the XRM platform. The way you extend it, the way you add things like, for example, fields, if you want to add a custom field to anything, and then a custom entity, a business process flow, you already know how to do that because it's the exact same platform. It's the Dynamics 365 customer engagement CRM platform, and you're already familiar with that. You already know how to do that. So that's how customers can benefit from Dynamics 365 for marketing. So okay, so your opportunity. So what is the opportunity for you? And there's a couple of different opportunities here. We're gonna jump into Dynamics 365 for Sales edition very shortly. But in both cases, these are two new applications that we've never had before in the history of Dynamics, and we kind of announced this vision for Sales Edition, for the Sales Professional Edition and Dynamics 365 for marketing almost 2 years ago when we first announced Dynamics 365 to the world. It was at the Worldwide Partner Conference in Toronto in July of 2016. But we have two new applications that we can address two new audiences and two new markets with. In the case of Dynamics 365 for Sales Professional, that's specifically targeted for small and medium-sized businesses, right? Or for departments of larger companies. And then Dynamics 365 for marketing, again, something that we've never had before, and that's targeting small, medium-sized businesses or department-level marketers in larger companies. And so for you as partners, what that allows you to do is it just allows you to add yet another service to help align sales and marketing and analytics. That all goes together, and it helps to complete the picture. So, for you as partners, you're now able to provide an end-to-end customer lifecycle business process management offering, right? From marketing to sales to customer service to field services to professional services and automation, going on into finance and operations, talent, and retail. They're all connected, and they're all part of this life cycle, but it all starts with marketing, right? And then it moves on to sales. So now I'm going to pass it back to my colleague, Cyril.
Thank you very much, Nelson. So let's go a bit more on the opportunity before we jump on the demo. And of course, let's go after on pricing and this kind of question that you really need to be able to answer for your customer. So if we look more at the opportunity, there is few different points. Here I kept six of them, your customer are asking for cloud solution. Okay, so most of you are Dynamics partner that they join us today. We also have some MSP. So for Dynamics partner, the business was really an on-prem, and most of your customers are still on-premise. But there is a really big demand on cloud solution. And by the end of this year, it's between 65 to 70% of all the CRM and ERP customers that they will be cloud-based. So it's not something that we can ignore anymore. Customer asking for it, and we need to respond to this demand. Also, like Nelson explained, Microsoft spent a lot of time, a lot of effort of building this solution, this unique solution, and this is really, they now provide a very strong service and strong infrastructure that can really compete against the other solution. And having the beauty of a platform that's really interconnect and was built with that in mind, really give a unique solution and way more powerful solution than the other provider. A great advantage to have this big vision, it is going to simplify the cross-sell of other products. And for example, you are a Dynamics partner focused on CRM, you now have a marketing solution that you can push, and it's really strong. So that's another service that you can cross-sell, more than just opportunity management, case management. It's also integrated with Power BI, with Flow, with Power Apps. So a lot of new opportunity to always come with one solution under the same platform, that here everything is based on cloud, Azure. So very powerful solution. One of the other points is like in these cloud services, you need to be sure that you bundle your services. You need to be sure that you don't come with just a licensing part, then a service. You need to come with something more managed. Okay, so Mr. Customer, I'm coming with this bundle. It includes the license, the managed services, and go on and go on. And that's really the way, maybe even to move your services as a monthly fee, and not anymore this big, heavy, and painful one-time fee they have to pay up front. You can come now with this new model of monthly recurrence. One of the points is very important, Dynamics 365 being a software as a service. There is new players now on this market. And what I have in mind is really the MSP. So MSPs are very good to grab market, they are really agile, and when they see an opportunity, they jump on it. Big advantage for a Dynamics partner. Dynamics is still about business processes. You know how to speak about business process, you know how to speak to the execs, to the owner, and you're really strong there. But in my opinion, don't see the MSP as a competitor, see them as partner. And there is a great opportunity here of peer-to-peer. For example, even for a Dynamics partner, you might be very good at the CRM part, but you don't have the marketing experience. So you might maybe you want to do a partnership with an MSP that has a marketing consulting, experience, and together work on it. And I think that will make you way more stronger. And the market is really not addressed at this time. People are just focusing on big company because they think that just big company needs CRM, ERP, but it's not true. Everyone needs it. You just need to figure out the right price and right point for you, all your customers to be able to enjoy those one. And one thing is very important in the cloud, you need to build your recurrent revenue. It's not anymore this fat $50, $50,000 license that you get upfront for 3 years. Now you're in the monthly recurrence, and at the end it's going to pay more than the old model, but you need to start building it step by step. And here we have a slide that kind of show it's no point to go on number because every customer are different, but kind of different layers that you need to consider when you come with this cloud approach and this notion of layer. So you have the different revenue that's going to add up. So for example, Dynamics, it's a no-brainer. To have a full solution, you need to bring Office 365 together to get all those productivity. So you get the sense of adding up layers. It's going to make you to be able to sell even more to a customer and be able to be there, then single point of contact, I would say. So how SherWeb can help you? It's really about the vision of SherWeb is simplifying the cloud. And what we mean here is like, we want to be your single point of contact for cloud services. And all of you are different. You come with different experience. Some of you might come with the networking. Some of you come with the dynamics part. And we are really here to make you save time, okay? So leverage your experience, leverage our experience where you have a gap, and together we can offer the cloud solution that your customer need. So we are across the entire Microsoft ecosystem. I mean, Office 365, Dynamics, Azure, but we have our own IP on different products. So we do cloud security. We recently released something called Office Protect to help you secure even more your Office 365. We have a cloud PBX solution, and so on and so on. And always trying to add the next product that your customer will need to be your single vendor and partner for cloud services. I'm going very quickly on what we do on Dynamics because I want to keep some time for the demo. So our offer is really built for small business. Okay, we don't try to take business away out of the Dynamics partner. We're building prepackaged services and support for small business, and most of our effort is really on how to enable partner to go to this market and how to make different type of partner connect to each other and doing the peer-to-peer. The partner enablement is really going through your dedicated account manager, is your point of contact to get access to our teams, get access to our different tools. Just to give you a sense, this is the partner toolbox where we select the content that we think that has the most relevant for you. We are really a partner oriented to the success of our customer. So if you see anything missing, let us know and we work on it. That's another tool that we build for MSPs that want to get a sense of Dynamics. So very quick and sweet video that explains to you what is the opportunity, how to use it. And also very strategic, and this is very important in our business, our portal, provision portal that we build ourselves, really strong, that you can white label. This is the place where you can manage your customers directly, where you can provision, instant provision their services, and also easily get invoicing and so on. So let's go back to really on, I think, Nelson, if we want to have time for demo, we're going on the licensing, but we're going to do that pretty quickly, so we can have some time for the demo and the QA. Is it good for you?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. I'll let you go through the licensing, Nelson.
Okay, so very quickly on the licensing. So the way Dynamics 365 for marketing is licensed is a little bit different than the other apps that you know, sales, customer service, field service, which are all licensed per user. Dynamics 365 for marketing is actually licensed per organization based on the number of contacts. So, and this slide really shows it all, basically. So, if you want to just purchase Dynamics 365 for marketing, just a standalone application, it's $1,500 per month for 10,000 contacts. These prices, by the way, are all U.S. prices because they're nice. They're rounded up, but you can find the Canadian prices just by doing an internet search. If you have if you're a customer that has an existing customer engagement plan, or the Dynamics plan, you actually get Dynamics 365 for marketing included. You get 2,000 contacts though. If you want some more contacts, it's $600. If you don't see it within your tenant today, you just call support. They'll initiate it. But if you have a customer engagement plan already, you are entitled to Dynamics 365 for marketing. If you just have a single application, like for example Dynamics 365 for sales, as a customer, you can get Dynamics 365 for marketing at a reduced cost, so $750 per month for 10,000 contacts. And if you know of anybody that's using the old Dynamics 365 for marketing app, they can get Dynamics 365 for marketing basically for free. And then you can see all the inclusions that you get down there. The other thing that's kind of important to highlight is the number of emails. So the number of emails that you get per month are based on the number of contacts. It's basically 10 times the number of contacts. So the base level of 10,000 contacts basically will give you 100,000 emails a month. So 10,000 times 10 equals 100,000 emails per month. If you need more emails, then you purchase more contacts. Okay. So just very quickly, Sales Professional. So we now have a new edition called Sales Professional, which sits in between Sales Enterprise and the team members. So again, it's at $65 per user per month. This is the US pricing. So you can have both the Sales Professional and Sales Enterprise in the same tenant, but not on the same instance. So they would sit in different instances. In terms of the difference between Sales Enterprise and Sales Professional, this slide shows it all. This is a slide that probably many people have been waiting for a long time, but it shows the difference. So you could clearly see the difference there. So, Sales Professional for Sales Enterprise includes everything, but Sales Professional doesn't have support for things like competitors, goals, territory management, product taxonomy, and so forth. It doesn't come with sales engagement, gamification, voice of the customer, which is survey capability. It doesn't have mobile offline sync. You notice that Sales Enterprise has this thing called Sales Embedded Intelligence. And basically what that is many of you would probably be already familiar with that, but it's the relationship assistant, relationship engagement, auto capture capability that I think we first announced about 1.5 years ago. So that's what Sales Embedded Intelligence is, if you're wondering what that is. The case management, so that's actually new for both Sales Enterprise and Sales Professional. So a salesperson can now do things like create, read, update, reassign cases, add cases to a queue, route, resolve, delete cases. That's something that we didn't have before. And you're probably wondering why is the case that you have cases. And that's because as a salesperson, like before you go in to actually sell something new, you want to find out if there's any existing issues. And then finally, the big thing that a lot of people have been asking for is, since we first announced like this two-tier of Sales Professional, Sales Enterprise, Business Enterprise, is what would be the limitation in terms of custom entities, custom business process flows, custom workflows. And you can see it there, max of 15, max of 5, max of 15. Again, that doesn't contribute to any third-party add-ons that you might add. So let's jump into a quick demonstration, and I'm going to share my screen here. And are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we're good. Thank you, Nelson.
Okay, so this is Dynamics 365 for marketing. This is what the application looks like. So when you log into it, the first thing you might notice is that it's using the latest user experience, the unified interface. So the navigation, being able to search at the top, being able to add being able to add records, individual records from the navigation. Then you see on the left access to some of the more significant pieces of the navigation, like segments, customer journey, marketing email, and so forth. If you click on this hamburger menu here, you'll see access to the full breadth of the capability of Dynamics 365 for marketing in terms of customer journeys, marketing email, the lead management, the lead scoring. We'll take a look at that very shortly. Internet marketing in terms of marketing pages, forums, websites, keywords, redirected URLs, all the template capability that you have. And there's the LinkedIn lead gen capability that I mentioned earlier in terms of taking things from LinkedIn. If we just go into marketing email, just to quickly show you some of the capability. It all starts with marketing email as being the primary way of communicating with customers and prospects. When you create a new marketing email, you get access to a bunch of templates. There's 56 templates to be exact, and those 56 templates are designed for 70 combinations of email clients and mobile clients. So we made a bit of an investment right off the bat. We did that for you so that as you're creating a marketing email, you don't have to think about those different, the various combination of email clients and email readers and mobile devices. It also comes in multiple languages: English, French Canadian, German, Italian, Japanese, and Spanish, Dutch, Danish. We're going to add more languages as we go along. And there's also different purposes of templates. So you can see here birthday, content promotion, event countdown, newsletter, lead nurturing. So there's lots of different purposes, and we're going to add more. We're going to add more as we go along. So if we can start off with a template here. If we start off with a template, we insert that into the client. On the right-hand side, you see the toolbox. It gives you access to some content blocks, text divider, marketing page, image, button, events, surveys, and so forth. And just like you're probably used to in other solutions, it's all drag and drop. So you can drag and drop, a piece of text here, for example. And as you do that, what happens is it allows you to, it brings up this WYSIWYG toolbar that allows you to do things like, dear, and I can click on the assist edit, and then from here, contacts, and I can look for the first name. So I can insert some dynamic data into my email. First name, and this will go right into Dynamics 365, the existing contacts that you have in there. Now, because we're using a template, it automatically includes an unsubscribe option there. If I just maximize this, you might be able to see it. Yeah, there it is, unsubscribe. So this is important because Dynamics 365 for marketing was developed with GDPR in mind, compliance in mind across all of different jurisdictions across the world. You cannot send out bulk email from Dynamics 365 for marketing without an unsubscribe option. Right now, every single template has that unsubscribe option. If you were to create an email from scratch, you would have to add the link to the subscription center. It's just as simple as I just added this piece of text. It takes literally 10 seconds to do, but you cannot. Again, we respect privacy, and that's another advantage of having Dynamics 365 for marketing designed and developed throughout 2017 and 2018. We took all of that stuff into consideration. Once the email gets sent out, we don't send it through the Exchange Online service that the customer might have as part of their Office 365 subscription. We send it through a very special, very scalable Azure email service that takes care of blacklists, whitelists, and all that. You can preview your email once it's complete. You can preview it in terms of the tablet mode, landscape, portrait, all that kind of stuff. Desktop, how does it look like on a desktop? How does it look like on a mobile client? And so forth. There's also an inbox preview. I don't have it set up in this environment here that I'm borrowing from my colleagues, but we leverage a third-party service called Litmus that will give you previews of how your email looks like in different email clients like Gmail, Apple Mail, Yahoo, and so forth. And we give you 100 free previews that are included as part of the service that you get. I'll show you a couple other things, and then we'll move on because of time. Just one other thing very quickly: customer journeys. So customer journeys, again, similar to the email client, is something that you can create using drag and drop. The toolbox has a lot of options here. As you can see, you can drag and drop. You start off, first of all, you start off with a segment, and a segment is, again, a list of people you're going to target. That segment could come from LinkedIn, and then you can drag and drop a bunch of things like, you know, a marketing email, a marketing page, a survey, event, activity. So you can, at some point, if you want to create an activity for a salesperson to follow up based on the lead, you can create a reminder or task activity for them, call activity. You can launch a traditional CRM workflow. Again, another advantage of the fact that we built this on the same XRM Dynamics 365 platform. You can also delay things. For example, over here, we're sending out this email to a bunch of people. We're waiting to see whether it was opened or not, and we're waiting 5 days. If it doesn't get opened in 5 days, what happens is we send off another reminder email. If it does get opened up right away, we can then do some other things like invite them to an event or whatever it might be. Just to finish off very quickly, some of the analytics and the reporting. So there's quite a bit that comes out of the box with Dynamics 365 for marketing. You can see here just the standard dashboard, and there's a limited data in this environment here, but you can see here, you know, the customer journey started over time, segment utilization. There's dashboards for everything, for example, for events, for email that you send out. So here's one based on events. It shows you the number of people that registered versus the number of people that actually checked into the event, the top 10 events that you're working on, and so forth. But even if we go to a simple email, for example, and I'll just pick one. I don't know how much data is in this environment here, but we'll try this one here. Okay, I'm just for time, I'm going to probably skip this part, but open up any of these emails, you'll see the standard things like the number of bounces, who received it. You'll see like a heat map that will show you what area of the email that people actually clicked on. You'll see actually even also a map of the world on where people have actually opened up the email. Did they forward it off to somebody? What was the timeline behind that? But just for time purposes, I think what I'll do is do I pass it back to you, Cyril, or?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, you know, that we got on the question area, you know. So you spoke about the event management on 24. Someone is asking if there is an add-on to pay per webinar, or if it is included with the pricing of the product.
Yeah, good question. So in some cases, in Dynamics 365, what we do is we OEM a third-party solution, and we include it as part of your subscription. So for example, Versium, Sales Insights, the preview capability that we include within Dynamics 365, Litmus. But in the case of On24, that's not a third-party service that you would actually have to pay for if you want to use that. Or you could use GoToMeeting, you could use whatever else you want to. But
okay, so you still need a provider connected to your marketing app, right? To host the event.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Similar question for lead gen from LinkedIn. Do you know if you need a special license to get access to this functionality?
Yeah, you need access to. LinkedIn has a tool called Campaign Manager, so you would need access to that, and you know, you'd have to be the administrator for your company, but it's yeah, you need Campaign Manager, and then from there, the integration is native to Dynamics 365 for marketing. There's I highly recommend people take a look at that. There's a video on YouTube. There's a few of them actually, and just look at do a search for LinkedIn Campaign Manager and Dynamics 365 for marketing. It's incredibly powerful.
Okay. Last question we can take, you know, to stick in the 1 hour webinar. How partner can demo Dynamics 365 marketing?
Yes. Go to trials.dynamics.com and you can start up a trial. You can also then go to docs.microsoft.com and search for the documentation. And there's some hands-on exercises there. But yeah, it's ready to go. And you can also, you know, as part of your internal use rights, access to Dynamics 365 marketing is coming to you that you can use for your internal use rights and also for demo purposes. So that's another option as well.
Okay. From your experience, have you seen if the marketing module is by default deployed, or is something that you need to contact support to get it?
In my experience, like it was one situation I was dealing with last week where the customer wasn't seeing it. So
okay.
Support we had to trigger it with support, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. I think this is the first time that we've added a brand new module like that. So I'll probably just have to. I'm going to keep an eye on it, see what's happening. But a lot of customers, just let everybody know, like a lot of customers are now entitled to Dynamics 365 for marketing if they have a customer engagement plan. So let them know about it. I mean, it's free, so for them.
Good. We got some other question about licensing. We're not going back on it, but no, the $1,500 that you have seen, this is for someone that would like Dynamics 365 marketing standalone. So someone that's not using Dynamics at all. If you are a Dynamics customer, there is different option. If you have more than 10 customer engagements, it's $600. If you have less, it's $750, and after you have different add-ons. But don't hesitate to contact us, and we can spend more time on that. So Nelson, thank you very much for your time. Very interesting. Next time we'll maybe book more time for the demo, or we might record a demo and send that later to our partners. For you guys online, thank you very much for your time. If you have any question, please contact us. Very exciting about this product, but we need partner to start to push it. So thank you everyone, and have a great day.